Hi, this is Chris, Video Game Dust Leaves, and you're listening to the VGDS podcast with Bonesy06,
Yo, yo.
DanCavDragon,
Hey, how's it going?
DizzyTheGamerJit,
Heyo!
Guest Gamers, DadLVLPodcast,
Hey, leveling.
JChip,
Yeah, what's up?
MT Shark 7,
Hey everyone.
OddNez,
What's up?
and Owazrim.
How you doing?
First segment, Sleeve It or Leave It. The first game is Blade for PlayStation 1. Bones, Sleeve It or Leave It.
Oh, man. That might look good 3D pop, but I'm going to leave it.
Aw, poor Blade. DadLVLPodcast. Sleeve It or Leave It.
I love this movie. I might just leave the actual movie.
Yeah,
Hey.
I can do that. I can sleeve movies because it's just like a video game.
Okay.
Think
I'll
about
accept
that. Think about that. Wesley Snipes, nobody beats him. Dan, sleeve it or leave it.
Nah, I'll sleep.
Boo.
Yeah. Sorry.
Dizzy,
I didn't even know this game existed. I would sleeve it definitely, and I'd probably pick it up, but Wesley Snipes doesn't pay his taxes, so the game's probably expensive as hell.
J Chip,
Yeah, just give me the sleep for the movie. I don't really care for this game.
MT Shark,
Yeah, I'd sleeve it.
Ness,
No, I'm gonna leave it.
Owas.
I don't even have a PlayStation 1, so I'm going to leave it.
Damn you, Owas. Have to be all relic and stuff. Next title, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. You guys didn't know about this game, did you?
I did.
Of course you did,
Yeah,
ass. Bones, sleeve it or leave it.
I'm going to have to pass on that one again.
Dan.
I mean, it's hard to sleeve Sega CD boxes and games, but I mean, this game is a little bit pricey, so I'd probably sleeve it.
Dad level.
All right, so it's got to be 3D, right? Then instead of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, it's got to be Jurassic World Dominion, and then you could put like, the actors on the faces of the characters.
I could do anything, remember that. So you and Dizzy seem to come up with like alternate way off the wall covers for sleeves. It's cool though.
Okay.
It's
The
cool
reason
though.
why I said that is because when I saw the trailer for Dominion, I was thinking, oh wow, look, it's Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Yeah, makes sense. Dizzy.
I actually saw Linda play the arcade version of this game, and it looked pretty good. My Sega CD is not working right now, but if I had the game, see, I'd be like that, I would sleeve it.
The second cataclysm. J-Chip.
Just on the fact that there's dinosaurs and Cadillacs, how can I not sleeve this?
Exactly. Where are you going to see that anywhere else?
Right on.
MT Shark.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'd definitely sleeve this. I have this game, it's pretty fun.
OddNez.
Never played it. Looks so obscure, so I'm gonna sleeve it.
Owas.
I don't have a Sega CD, but I do like dinosaurs, so I'm going to sleeve it.
Yeah, dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs. Next title, Dennis the Menace. Bones.
No.
Dad level.
Maybe 3D, but just because of the way the slingshot is, I don't know. Maybe.
Dizzy.
Mr. Wilson! Yeah, I would, yep.
Dan.
Sorry, I'm gonna pass on this one.
Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one as well.
J-Chip.
If you can get the rock to make it look like it's coming towards me and like a 3D sleeve, then yeah.
Owaz.
Negative.
Ness.
I'm gonna leave it.
Last title, Dinosaurs for Hire. Dad level.
Yeah, totally.
Bones.
I'm gonna go with yeah.
Dizzy.
Yeah. I mean, the title sounds good. Yep, I'd leave it.
Dan.
I don't know much about this game, but I would probably still sleeve it.
JChip.
There's no Cadillac, so why bother?
Damn it. It was the Cadillacs. Ness.
I'll sleeve it.
Mark.
Yeah, I would sleeve it.
Owaz.
I'd sleeve it. It's got dinosaurs.
Of course.
With more teeth.
Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. With machine guns.
That's right.
Why not? So does anybody know the little gimmick behind the sleeve it or leave it section?
That are all comic book franchises.
Yeah, they're all comic book related. They're all every single one of these are comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Even the dinosaurs and Cadillacs, it's a comic book. Yes,
Yeah, I knew
sir.
about the comic book for that. There's.
Dennis the Menace has his own comic. Dinosaurs for Hire has their own comic. Same with Blade. They're all comic books. All right. If they're all comic books, what's the next one's going to be? Guess that box art.
I know what that is.
I know what it is.
Yeah, same here.
Who doesn't know?
Yeah, same.
All right, let's put it this way. Who doesn't know the first image?
I don't.
Owaz, you don't.
No.
Neither do I.
Mark doesn't.
I'm not positive on it. I have a guess, but I'm not positive.
Ness, do you know?
I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Okay. One of the guys that do not know what it is, it's an NES title. Does that clear it up a little bit more?
No.
Okay.
Okay, then yeah, I think I know what it is.
Go for it.
Do you have a guess?
I do. I can't remember the name of it. It's that one game the Angry Video Game Nerd did.
Oh, I think I might know what
Go
it
ahead,
is.
Owaz.
Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer. Yeah.
Yep, Silver
Trying to think of
Surfer.
it.
I was gonna say Golden
Black.
Boogie Board, man.
Well, I wanted to say Silverhawks just because the guy was all silver, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Next one. I think Dad Level, you said you know this one, right?
Yeah.
I know this one.
Owaz,
I know that.
Mark,
I know that one
I know
too.
this one as well.
Yeah,
Dizzy
I think I
JChip.
know it.
I think I know it.
Ness,
Yeah, I know it.
are you like the only one that doesn't know it? Or do you know
Yeah, I
it?
don't think I know this one.
It's a 64 game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, then I definitely. You just said that. I know it. I know I'm right.
Any guesses? Ness? Since you're the only one that probably doesn't know it.
I'm trying to think of every comic book related game for the N64, and
You're on the right track.
yeah, well, it's not ringing a bell. No.
All right, I'll give you the first letter of the first. There's two words in this. The first letter is an S on the first word.
S.
Second letter, the second word is M for the first word.
Nope, still not coming to me.
I know it.
Limited Run just released this game.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Really?
They did?
Why?
Wow.
yeah, they re-released this game.
All right, somebody said it.
Shadow Man?
I don't. Oh, I was gonna say it.
Oh, you had it.
Oh, man.
Did you have it, Ness?
I was gonna say it right. No, it's fine. Yeah.
He had it. I heard you. I did hear you start to say Shadow. So
Shadow Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Shadow Man for the N64, and that is a comic as well as Silver Surfer. Bones. It's your turn.
This month's logo sleeve, everybody, is Brent's Basement, which Brent's not here. But this is his logo sleeve. If anyone would like to purchase it, contact Chris at Video Game Dust Sleeves at Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and he'll hook you up.
All right, since Brent's not here, usually the question is, what would you put in your sleeve, Brent's sleeve? What comic book related game would you put in any logo sleeve? We'll just leave it at that. Bones, you got an answer?
The Adventures of Batman and Robin, Super Nintendo.
Dad level?
Death and Return of Superman, Super Nintendo.
Dan?
Oh, how about Spider-Man Maximum Carnage?
Dizzy?
Dick Tracy NES.
JChip?
Spider-Man 2 for the GameCube.
Mark?
Batman on the NES.
Ness?
I'll do Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Owaz?
Nice.
Batman Returns on the Master System.
All right, Dan. Take it away.
All right, franchise of the month. So, actually, I wasn't going to actually do much with this today. I was going to keep this brief. I wanted to stay within the theme of the comic book, but I didn't want to really. I don't see much point in discussing. So I picked a few franchises, the video game franchises that have been inspired by comic books, but mainly just to give you some ideas of what's out there, because I knew we're going to be talking about comic books for the rest of the podcast. So there's no question. I have no questions about this. It's just here are some of the games that we've talked about in some of the previous podcasts. We talked about Spider-Man and we talked about Batman games. But yeah, so keep this in mind as we go through the questions. And that's really I didn't, of course, put everything that's comic book related in this picture, but here are some of the ones that came to mind. I'm sure there's many more. So hopefully that inspires you as we discuss the questions for the podcast. That's it.
All right. So unfortunately, the man that created this is under the weather, and that was Bandana Gamer that came up with this topic. But that's okay. He'll be here in spirit. All right, and then
I'm still waiting for my pop quiz.
Yeah. If he was here, he would probably say something smart.
Yeah.
That's smart ass. Anyway, today's topic is what makes a good game based on a comic book IP. And we're just going to run through the 5 questions, and we'll go down the line, and that's it. Just give your opinion, and we'll keep it moving. If you want to have a brief discussion on it, that's totally fine. And any opinions are welcome. Doesn't matter. First question, what are your favorite comic books? Bones.
Well, geez. I'll go first, everybody. Hold on.
Yeah, Bandana's not here, remember? Bandana screwed you. He didn't show up, so he was like, screw Bones.
I'm going to hold the fort down from my boy, Double B. All right? And my favorite comic books, even though this really is only going to pertain to one, and it is up there on your picture, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I still have probably 2 or 3 of my childhood turtle comics left. Other than that, the only other comic I've collected was usually Chaos Comics, which is Evil Ernie, Lady Death, Megadeth. Those were the only other comics that I collected and I currently have. I've never been big in the comics.
All right. Dad level, your turn. What are your favorite comic books?
Do we have enough time for this episode for me to cover all this?
Just hurry up and say it in like 30 seconds. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, I kind of grew up in comic book shops, so...
Yeah, I know about that. That's why you're on here.
Yeah. I mean, but some of my favorite comic books to read were like Spider-Man 2099, anything with Batman Beyond. A lot of the stuff I read was, kind of the secondary characters to, like, Spider-Man, Batman, or whoever. But like my main ones were G.I. Joe, the Marvel run for G.I. Joe, and Transformers.
Since you're a comic, this little side thing here, since you're a comic book person, did you know that they had a few Nintendo comics out?
Yes, I actually have the six-issue miniseries for the Double Dragon that they did.
I have a few. I can't remember the names of them. I just was curious if anybody else besides myself knew about them.
Yeah, I knew about them. I can't think of anything other than the Double Dragon because that was the one I mainly read. It actually had a really cool story. It wasn't like the old cartoon that we got. It was kind of unique.
All right. Anyway, sorry about that. Back to what you were saying. Your favorite comic books.
I mean, a lot of also my comics that I read are either graphics. So like the DC's got this whole thing where they do Earth 1. So the Batman and Superman Earth 1 books are really good. They're just graphics. And in a lot of mangas. So Bio Booster Armor, Guyver, Akira are two are my top ones.
Dan.
Favorite comics. I'm a little old school, I guess, but I like Batman is one of my favorite comic books. I do like G.I. Joe. I think I have the entire run of the Marvel G.I. Joe series, and X-Men on the Marvel side are definitely my favorite comics. I'm more of a Marvel person than a DC, but I do like Batman a lot. So that's it.
Dizzy.
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple good Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic books that I think Bandana would have liked. I think maybe around 7 to 10 of those. Those are really good ones. I got a big ass comic book that says Marvel Treasury Edition, and it says the Rampaging Hulk on it. So that's one that I got. It's really old. I think it's from '79. I might put that behind some glass. But I really like the Dick Tracy ones. Dick Tracy, and like I mentioned before, the video game on NES. I got a collection of VHS tapes of Dick Tracy. Not only the cartoon, but there was like a black and white, live action serials that came out that I got on VHS too. So I think Dick Tracy is the one I really like. Plus, they made the '90s movie with Al Pacino. And I think Madonna was in that one. And that one's really bright and colorful, just like a comic book would be. So I really like that movie. But Dick Tracy is one of my favorites.
JChip.
I'm a huge Batman fan. I like the detective comic books. One of my favorite graphic novels of all time is The Killing Joke. I think that is a phenomenal story. Other than that, I dabbled with The Walking Dead, and I thought that was a pretty cool comic book series. Spider-Man also has some pretty cool comics, too. Yeah, that's about it.
Mark.
I've never been into comics, but the only comics I've actually read was Spider-Man, so I'm going to go with Spider-Man.
Ness.
So I like all kinds of comics from Marvel, DC, Image, but I like the obscure ones, like the way back when Marvel made a Raiders of the Lost Ark comic, and so if I had to pick like my two like major characters that I'd like for comic books would be Ghost Rider comics and Daredevil comics, and I also want to throw in a Master of Kung Fu. That's I don't know. It's just one of those odd comics that I enjoy reading.
Owaz.
Spider-Man, Hulk, and Batman.
Our next question. What are your favorite comic book based on video games? And we're going to go opposite so Bones doesn't feel like crap this time.
I could go first. Keep it in the same order. I'm cool.
You ready? You want to go first again? All right.
I don't care. To me, that's a broad spectrum there because there's so many games like in Marvel vs. Capcoms, and there's so many different comic book based games that I can just start rambling them off. The Turtles, the Spawns on there, like I said, Marvel vs. Capcom, Batman. All around, there's a game on every console that's going to be comic book related, that's going to be on your list of good games. I guarantee that. I did not play that one for the PS5. I see you have there, though. Guardians of the Galaxy, they have one out? Oh,
it's on PS4 as well, Bones.
Yeah.
I was not privy to that. I'm out of the more modern loop, but yeah, that actually looks pretty good.
It actually is a pretty good game. Riley's been playing it.
But yeah, all the basically separation anxieties, all those types, Maximum Carnage, Turtles 2, 3. I'm not super fan of 1 that much. Like I said, the Marvel vs. Capcom games, Spawn Armageddon, the Hulk games are usually pretty good. All those are my picks for favorite comic book related style ones.
Dad level.
My number one go-to is always going to be Spider-Man. Usually any of the Spider-Man games have been fantastic, especially when they start going open world. I really enjoy the Batman Arkham series by Rocksteady. And then, let me see. But if we're going to talk about video games, the best adaptations I feel are going to be the ones that were for the arcades. So X-Men, the X-Men arcade game, the 6-player one. That was an experience that we haven't been able to kind of replicate. Being able to have friends play together to play whatever, other than the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series. But as far as my favorites, Batman on the NES. Let me see. Turtles in Time. X-Men Children of the Atom. And then the recent PS4 Spider-Man.
Yeah, I heard that's really good, that Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
All right, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite comics is Batman, so of course I like all the Batman video games. Those are all, I mean, I think I haven't really played a bad Batman video game if I can recall. Even the Lego ones are pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, I think all the Batman ones are good. I'm a big fan of Batman the animated series. I know probably a lot of other people are. So all those games were good as well. So, Batman comic books make great video games usually.
Dizzy.
I want to briefly go back to the first question. I actually just remembered my favorite comics are the Gary Larson ones. I don't know if you guys know about that. It's Gary Larson is The Far Side. I got a huge collection of those books, like so many. I even got the VHS tapes, which are really, really rare. That's actually my favorite, the Gary Larson. But the favorite comic book video games, like I mentioned, Dick Tracy, I really like a lot. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for NES and Super Nintendo, all of those games. Even the first one that most people don't like, I grew up with it, so it always has a special place in my heart. And once you get to know the game, you know how to beat it. There is hard parts in it, but my favorite comic book related game that I don't really hear much about is PlayStation 1, The Incredible Hulk, the Pantheon Saga. That was my first game for the PlayStation 1. I had that game solo by itself for maybe a half a year to a year, and I would play it all the time. That's my favorite. It's just the one that I don't hear mentioned too often. I might have to stream that one day, but that's my favorite.
JChip.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's a good one. I hadn't even thought about that game in years because it was one of the
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Most people don't know about it, but I love that game.
All right, JChip.
I really like the Batman Arkham games. Spider-Man on PS4 is really good. Spider-Man 2 on GameCube is really good. But one of my favorites that I don't hear very often, that is brought up in like a top list, is Deadpool for the 360 and PS3. I think that's a really fun game.
I heard a lot about that game, Deadpool. Mark.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, it is. Mark.
I would go with the Batman games. I'm just gonna keep it generic since like all the Batman games I've played, I've really enjoyed. The Arkham games, as well as like that Batman on the NES and Batman Returns on the Game Gear. They're all fantastic games.
Ness.
I would pick like all the Spider-Man games. Pretty much they're all good. Like somebody said earlier, like the open world. I like that kind of aspect in a game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the X-Men arcade game, Marvel vs. Capcom, RoboCop versus Terminator. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Owaz.
The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, I really enjoyed on the GameCube. Spider-Man Web of Shadows, Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, Spider-Man on the Genesis and the Sega CD, X-Mutants and Batman Returns, the Master System, and the Turtle games. Some of my favorites.
Next question. How did Game excel in translating the comic book to video game? Bones?
Well, let's see here now. For me, I'm going to have to say that really I can't have much to say in this because most of the games that I've played, I haven't gotten into the comic book side of it, so I really don't have much input. Did the Turtles NES games go well with the comics as I remembered as a kid? Yeah, I felt that did, but I can't really branch out much further than that.
Dad level?
So the two that I think that excel really well were going to be the Spawn for the Super Nintendo, because it had the mechanic that you had his magical ability counter, and that was big in the comic. And so as you used your magic and everything, that counter went down, and if it ever went to 0, you died in the game. So that was really cool. And the same thing with Terminator vs. RoboCop. It was a good translation between the comic. So,
Dan?
Translating the comic, yeah. So the Batman Arkham series was really cool because it, if you like the animated series, it had a lot of the same voice actors from it, like Kevin Conroy's Batman and Mark Hamill's the Joker, and it would, even though the game wasn't the animated style, it was like more realistic. So it was kind of cool to see like you hear your characters that you're so familiar with in a new, visually in a new format. And those games just did a really good job of creating Gotham and Arkham and having all the bad guys and playing up to their personalities and so forth. And so that did a really good job of capturing the essence of Batman, I think. And then the other game was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. I thought that was kind of cool because you could swap between all these different characters and they all have different powers, and it really, you got the unique feel for all the different characters and their abilities in that game. And then finally, that new Avengers game for the PS4 was pretty good because it felt like an extension of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though it didn't have the same voice actors and stuff, but it had the look and feel of the movies. So I think that did a really good job of, like, if you're a fan of the movies, then this felt like a very natural game to play as an extension of that.
Dizzy?
I'd say the Dick Tracy NES game is really similar to the cartoon. That's a good one. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original one. I know you fight Rocksteady in one scene, but I don't remember you fighting Bebop. I don't even think you fight the Shredder. I think you just like beat up the Terrordrome at the end of the game. So that one, and there's a bunch of enemies in that have nothing to do with the comic or the cartoon, like the chainsaw guy everybody remembers, the flame guy, and the different enemies flying. I think there's like even a balloon that flies around and hurts you. So, and they can't swim. That doesn't make sense. But the Incredible Hulk on PS1, same thing. Like you're pretty much fighting. You're like beating up robots and running away from different lasers. But all in all, I love the game. It's a great game. But the enemies not being the enemies in the comic, that's the main thing that separates it from being just like the comics, is the enemies, not having the correct enemies.
JChip.
I don't really care if the game is a perfect adaptation to the comic book. I just only care if it has the same feel and tone. Like the Arkham games have a very serious tone going for it, and it would just be really odd if that's the tone they're going for. And for whatever reason, before you fight Bane, for example, and suddenly he just does the Adam West dance and starts saying a bunch of corny jokes, like, I don't know, that would just take the feel out of it. But if you're gonna make a funny Batman game like Batman Brave and the Bold, I think that's pretty good. So all I really care about is just the feel and the tone.
Mark.
Let's say the Batman games translated pretty well. Mainly with the cartoon, the Batman Brave and the Bold. X and I used to watch that all the time, and then we ended up picking up the video game on the Wii and played through that, and it was like basically like just watching an episode of the TV show.
Ness.
Me, I would pick some of the Spider-Man games just simply because like I like how they kept some of the actual movie actors as some of their voices, and I don't know, that to me translated pretty well. So the Spider-Man games is what translates well for most people when they play video games. Yep.
Owazrim.
It's like with Hulk. I loved being able to just run around and rampage as the Hulk and tear stuff up and tear a car in half and make fists out of it and go pound on the bad guys and whatnot. And the Spider-Man game on the Genesis, one thing that was cool was you'd take pictures that you would sell at the end of the level so you would have some money so you could pay to refill your web fluid. So while you're playing, you could still struggle trying to make sure you had enough money to keep your web fluid up. And Web of Shadows, I loved just swinging through town on that game. You could just swing from one end of the map to the other, and I had a lot of fun with it and looking for all the little icons. And they had a lot of comic book characters like Luke Cage and Mary Jane and Black Cat and the Vulture and whatnot in the game. And then Ultimate Alliance was a lot of fun because we'd have game nights and we'd have people over and we'd have a full party of 4 running around and demolishing levels. And I mean, I don't know how many times we played through that game, but it just got everyone would choose whichever character they wanted, and we'd have people swap out and choose different characters, and it had a nice roster, and it just some nice variety between the different heroes.
Next question. What is the worst comic book based video game? Everybody say it at once.
Superman 64.
Yep.
Ghostbusters.
All right, let's go down the list real quick. Bones. Ghostbusters.
I'm gonna go with Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters for sure.
Dad level.
Superman 64.
Dan.
Yeah, same. Superman 64. It's just hard to make a video game about a character that's invincible and make it realistic, so.
Dizzy.
The Uncanny X-Men. Sorry.
JChip.
Aquaman, Battle for the Atlantis.
Mark.
Superman 64.
Ness.
Superman 64 or Silver Surfer.
Owaz.
Superman 64 and just about any other Superman game, like was stated. I mean, it's like, how do you translate that over into a game?
Last question. How did it fail to translate the comic to the medium of a video game? Bones.
I have no idea, dude.
It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. This was Bandana's question, and he's not here to answer it. So, Dad level.
It was so bad I didn't play it, so I don't know. I just had friends who were telling me how bad it was. I mean, how can you mess up the property of the animated Batman series? But I don't know.
Dan.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna say something different for this answer, not about Superman 64. Earlier I was talking about Batman video games, and I never played a bad Batman video game, but I take that back. There was one
Super Nintendo. Nobody said it.
What's that?
There's one on the Super Nintendo.
What, a bad Batman game?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Which one?
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say like the Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Sega CD was not a very fun game to play because it was a driving game. The entire game you're just driving the Batmobile around, so that's a waste of that property. So that's how you would fail to translate the medium of the game, just by like forcing the entire game to be a driving game. I think that's probably that's like a crime.
Dizzy.
Say the Uncanny X-Men. It was a NES game, 8-bit, so there's not really much they could do with it. But the top-down view just made it look like the die-hard NES game with swapped-out sprites. So that one didn't really look too good. But I have a question, though. I never really heard about the Batman Forever game on PS1, but the price is like $500 average. Has anybody played that game? Is it worth that price? I doubt it, but Batman Forever? No, not at all. I guess nobody's played that one.
I have no clue.
I think it's based off a Batman Forever arcade game, which is kind of like a beat 'em up, like I think like Final Fight, that type of thing, but it has like more realistic, graphics. And so I've never played it, but it sounded, and it also came out for the Sega Saturn. But I've never actually played it, so I can't tell you if it's any good or not.
JChip.
For the Aquaman game, they take a character and have the potential to make him cool and badass, and they do the complete opposite for making just the most boring game possible. Like, at least with Superman, you can kind of make an argument that after the ring level, it kind of resembles a little bit of fun. But for this Aquaman game, it's the same as like taking melatonin. Like, it's so goddamn boring.
Damn. That's gonna help me go to sleep.
Yeah, just throw that game in. Mark.
I guess that's good.
Yeah, I would say that just the controls of the games are horrible, and the story as well.
Nez.
Should have done better.
Nez.
For me, I'm gonna pick Catwoman for I think it was
GameCube?
released on the PlayStation 2 or Xbox.
Yeah.
I think it came out on the GameCube too.
Probably. That game was just terrible. I mean, it didn't help that it was based off a terrible movie to begin with. But, the controls were bad in that movie. The voice acting was bad. It was just not what a Catwoman game should be. It was completely a mistranslation of what Catwoman is in the comics.
Owaz.
They made it so it felt like you were flying a brick, and not a smooth brick, and just a really rough brick, and friction everywhere, and stop on a dime, and but not in a good way because you weren't trying to stop. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times I played through that first level and could not get through the stupid rings. And I remember we picked up the game for my brother, who's a big Superman fan, and I mean, he hates the game. He couldn't. I mean, I don't think there's anyone that would take that game and, wouldn't give it away to somebody, whether they liked them or not, because it's a horrible game.
Does Bones have that sleeved?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I got that damn thing sleeved.
There's one sleeve in my collection too.
I think with Bones that broke him because he doesn't want to sleeve anything else.
Apparently, you're not lying. He hasn't sleeved things in a long time. That's cool.
Is it
That's
3D?
funny. No, it's not the 3D. Any other questions, comments, anything on comic book related stuff? No. All right, Dan.
Oh, yeah. So, podcast pickups. Every time I have a podcast, a topic podcast, I try to roll this out. Yeah, maybe just to take a look at the picture. There's a lot of Sonic games on here. Sonic was featured in one of the franchises of the month previously, and when I was putting that together, I did not realize how many Sonic games there were in this franchise. Then I realized I didn't have a lot of them, so I was like, some of these I better go back and try to pick up before they get too crazy up in price. Yeah, I don't have much to say about. I haven't played any of these, so I can't tell you if they're any good. The only thing is, I was lucky. I got three. Those three in the middle. I got Sonic Boom, Sonic Lost World, and Sonic Unleashed as part of a buy two get one free from GameStop. And those are always a gamble because but they came complete in box with the manuals and everything. So I was happy to get those three.
Oh, but there's a platinum one there, Dan.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that, but I'll take it.
Everything comes full circle. Look, he's got a platinum hits.
So that's it for the Sonic games. A couple of them, like the Sonic there's a game called Sonic the Hedgehog for PS3, just plain Sonic the Hedgehog. I never played it, but those are still cheap. You can get them sealed for under 20. Sonic Generations is a great game on the consoles. I didn't have the 3DS version, so that was still sealed. It was brand new for 30. So games are still at the original price that they came out at. So that's kind of cool. Barker Bill Trick Shooting was featured in podcast 57 as guess that box art, I think. And I was like, I know that game is pretty cheap, so let me go ahead and grab it before it gets crazy in price. I want to do that. And last but not least, Shimbo Jack's suggestion for what was the it was one of the questions we're talking about, franchise of the month, I think. What game needs a remake or something? And
yeah, that's what it was.
He suggested Sneak King, one of the Burger King games, and he gave us such a great review of it. You have to go back and listen to the podcast and capture it in its all its glory. But
he really egged it on there.
Yeah, we immediately, several of us ran out and bought it because it's so cheap. Now, I paid $15 for all three games. I think some of you got it for even cheaper. I know some people paid very little money for this game trilogy.
Yeah, you guys didn't do shopping properly. I can tell you that right now. I paid $6 for all three of them sealed.
Yeah, he's got me
Leave
beat.
them.
I also got this because of Shinbo Jack. I paid $13 for all of them sealed. Still.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did anybody else happen to listen? We're not podcasting. I know Bandana got it too, right?
I think he did actually. Yeah.
Actually, I already had those three games. I think I got them for like $2 each at the
Nice.
Goodwill
Nice.
ahead of that podcast. But yeah, I got those. Haven't played them yet though.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else got podcast pickups, Dan. I think it was only me, you, and Bones.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, I got
Oh, you did
got-
it, was? Go. Shoot it.
Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection for the 360, which is really cool because it's got some Master System games and arcade games that you can unlock on it. And then I got Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight for the Wii.
Nice. Oof.
Nice.
Good games.
That was all because of Dan and his franchise of the month.
Yep.
Dan,
Although,
you know the funny.
Sonic and the Secret Rings, when it came out, with a buddy picked it up when we played it. I thought, that was kind of fun. It wasn't a horrible Sonic game.
No.
I picked it up sometime, and I saw it at the local shop. I was like, I'll pick that one up. And then, oh, look, they got Black Knight too. So grabbed them both and the Genesis collection.
It's just weird. It's just weird seeing Sonic on Nintendo product. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know how much you paid for those games, but like, I couldn't find Sonic for $10 like it said in price chart, like for Black Knight, you know. So I feel like I overpaid for that one. But
they had a buy 2 get 1 free, so
yeah. So
all right, next
Yeah,
segment.
not
Go ahead, Dizzy.
not really a podcast pickup, but we were talking about this one in the podcast chat before, because I thought we talked about it, but I guess I must have talked about it somewhere else, which was the Action Max, the old light gun VHS, working off of VHS tapes instead of cartridges, and we were talking about that. I was wondering if we talked about it before. But now we're talking about it, so if anybody thinks about even picking that up, you know, we could throw it in the next podcast pickup. It's not really a good console, though. It's a light gun game, only works on CRTs, but you have to have a VCR to play the tapes. The tape acts as the game. You know, if I get closer to the CRT, it works good. And I read up that that's the easiest console to make homebrews for, which I agree. Like, all you really need is like a video editor and like a blank VHS tape, and I could probably make bootleg games for that. So I'm thinking of you know, using different movie scenes and adding like light gun scenes into the movie. Like, I'm probably gonna take a scene out of the Scarface movie and throw some light gun flashes on there and see if I can make a homebrew game out of that.
So you're saying
That's
you can make a
interesting.
game out of any movie?
Basically, like
Wow.
what the game is, the console really has nothing to do with the VHS tape. You're just playing a VHS tape. The whatever's on the VHS tape has flashes on it, and you shoot your light gun at the flash, and if you hit the flash, then your tally goes up on the console. So you can pretty much get any movie, you know, edit those flashes onto the tape and just make your own homebrews. It's like the easiest console to make a homebrew for, because it's just pretty much a VHS tape playing, and you're shooting at the flashes that it shows. So yeah, I could take Boys in the Hood, I could take Die Hard, and just throw flashes on it and shoot my light gun at it, and the tally will go up. So I think I'm gonna do that in the future.
Got some cool
Pretty
movies you
cool.
can try that for.
Terminator, RoboCop,
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
good movies.
And that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any disco movie.
Oh,
all
man. There you go.
Next segment, 3D or no. All right, first title is The Punisher. Bones, 3D or no.
Yes.
Dad level.
Sure.
Dan.
I actually don't like this cover. I wouldn't do it.
Dizzy.
Yeah, I actually think the Punisher and him right there popping out and the background sinking deeper would look really good.
JChip.
Yeah, it would look pretty cool in a 3D.
Mark.
I'll pass on this one.
OddNez.
It's an LGN game, but I would still do it in 3D.
Owaz.
Just pop the LGN logo.
Next title, Spawn, the video game for Super NES. Bones.
Yep.
Dad level.
For sure, you got to make sure that the glowing green is it actually glows in the dark too.
I could probably do that. Dan.
Yeah, I can see this as a nice 3D sleeve.
Dizzy.
Green LED light where his hand is, and that would look cool.
JChip.
Yeah, I like the light idea.
Mark.
Yeah, I also like the light idea.
Ness.
Yeah, this would be cool in 3D.
Owaz.
Yeah, I think there's a lot you could do with this pop out on this one. It could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Next title, Spider-Man for 2600. Bones.
No.
Dad level.
I could see it pop 3D, but probably not.
Dan.
Well, you know what I'm going to say. I think this is on my list of things that I want you to 3D pop for me. But this is one of the better Atari games, and I can see him like falling out of through that hole, that ripped hole. So I think that'd make a cool sleeve.
Dizzy.
I think the opposite would look cool, like 3D pop out the gray all around and make that Spider-Man picture sink in deeper. That'd look cool too.
JChip.
Nah, I'm not a fan.
Mark.
Yeah, I think this would look pretty cool, 3D sleeve.
Ness.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool if you can get the Green Goblin to kind of like 3D pop out and Spider-Man to pop out and just kind of have the background there. It would look pretty cool.
Owaz.
Yeah, I think popping that out and have Spider-Man a couple different levels and have that his left hand sticking out a little bit more. I think it would look really cool.
Yeah, this is one I actually already did. So, came out good. Alright, last title. Bones.
My God. I don't even want to answer this one. I think we know what it is.
You've already done it.
Dad level.
Can we go back in time and make this game never happen?
No, I don't think that's possible.
I don't think so.
Yeah, then I don't need to sleep.
Even this game needs love. Dan.
Is there any way that you can make an all black sleeve to hide the hideous thing?
Well, I could black everything out but his Superman logo. I mean, like...
Yeah, I mean, I think you could actually make a cool 3D sleeve about this, like him ripping his shirt open in 3D, I guess. But
Well, what I would do is his hands would be the thing that's most popped out. His shirt would be behind that, and then his Superman logo would be in front of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't have this game, but if I ever get it, then maybe I'll have you do that.
Dizzy.
I think if you blacked everything out but the Superman logo, it'd make people think it was a different Superman game that was actually good. So that's false advertising. I wouldn't do that.
JChip.
Can you just pop out his teeth?
I mean, yeah, if that's what you want.
Just the hair.
I mean,
Just the
I
hair and
can
the teeth.
I could pop out the silver logo on the left. That you may, if that's
Just crash him into some rings and he'll pop his teeth right out.
Mark.
Yeah, I'll pass on this one.
Nez.
No, I don't think it's worth making it into 3D.
Owaz.
Kill it with fire.
Now you know it's funny. Everybody says this, and then Dan's gonna have me do it just because you guys all said no.
Yeah.
Blacked out logo.
All right.
Put the words on there that say "Don't play" in all in 3D.
Don't play. Last segment, game of the month. Bones.
Well, I don't want to let my boy B down, so I made sure I bought a game during this podcast. I bought Deadpool because it was brought up on PlayStation 3.
Podcast pickup.
Yeah, keep that
So, bam!
podcast.
That's going to be why.
Write that down, Dan.
Yeah.
Because Bones will forget. Dad level.
Batman on the NES.
Dan.
I'm gonna go with a Nintendo Switch game called Spirit Roots. The reason why I mentioned it is on sale right now for 9 cents on the eShop. So if you want to buy a platformer on the Switch,
You lost me at eShop.
Yep,
Or-
same with
well,
me.
yeah.
I said the same thing.
I don't think that's gonna be the cheapest game I ever paid for. Is 9 cents.
But it's not physical. It's not
Yeah.
physical. Dizzy.
My game is gonna be the rescue of Pop's ghostly VHS tape for the Action Max. I got it sealed, and I don't want to break the seal just to preserve the history. but I might end up breaking the seal on that one, popping it in.
Break the seal. Break the seal.
That's it.
Don't be like Dan. Break the seal.
Eventually.
JChip.
Yeah, let's go with the bouncer for PS2.
Sweet.
Mark.
I go with Manticore on the Nintendo Switch.
Nez.
Since we're keeping it comic book theme, I'm just gonna go with X-Men Destiny. It's just a game I picked up. I haven't tried it. It doesn't look like it has great reviews, but
Is that on the Wii?
it's on the PS3. It could be on the Wii as well.
I think it might be.
Sure. Yeah,
Oh,
it
was.
might be it.
I'm gonna go with the Beautiful Joe. It's not a comic book as far as
Hey, I know
but
that
it's
game.
Comic book style.
Definitely is comic book style. And I'm going to go with the game everybody hates. Superman for the 64.
Why?
Wow.
I'm surprised nobody said Comic Zone.
Yeah, I thought about saying that for the how to translate a game, comic into a game, because that's literally what the game is about. But, but
Yeah, I know. I thought about it late too.
yeah.
All right, that concludes the podcast. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming and doing this. I know there's a couple of new guys in here, so thank you guys for hanging around and doing this podcast as well as your intros. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, don't blow, just leave.
Don't sleep, Superman.
See ya.
If you want to sleeve Superman, you can sleeve Superman. Don't listen to these guys.
Superman doesn't.
Leave it.
Sleeve what you like.
There you go. Later, guys.
Ace.
Yeah.
Later.
Later.
Bones.
Sound check.
Check one. Check one.
No, it's not your turn, Owaz. Shut up.
Going out of order.
Dad level.
Mike 1 2.
Dan.
Hey, check one, my two.
Dizzy.
Check.
JChip.
Check.
OddNez.
Check.
Owaz.
Where am I?
Wow, it's your turn, and you're last this time. Holy shit, you're usually in the middle. And Dad level's number 2. Look at this. We're all fucked up now. There's a whole bunch of D's in here. There's too many D's.
I just need to get a couple more experience points, and I'll be number 1.
Oh, Mark made it. Hold on. He made it. Let me put him over there.
Bring him in.
Still gonna put me at the bottom though. Tell him, he's got to change his name.
Mark.
Yeah.
You made it. Mark.
Oh, he's muted.
Bueller.
Mark.
He might be on his phone.
Mark.
Hey.
Hey,
There we
Mark.
go, there we go.
You made it in
How you
time.
doing?
You made it in
Yeah,
time.
cool. Huh.
All right. I'm going to check the recording. I'll be right